Hello, and welcome to Aquarius Dragon Tarot. I'll be your guide on this journey. And for today's card of the day, I had these 4 cards all come out each in their own way as I shuffled. So I'm going to honor what's here and travel from right to left today. Let's take a moment to breathe with our angelic channeling as we call into our hearts and our sphere all that is in our highest loving good and grace to hear. May we receive with the bounty of love and truth and clarity. As always, listen with your own inner heart's guru and only take what resonates with you, and what doesn't, just let it flow through. It might be a fun story to listen to or an allegory or two. Without further ado, let's go into our beautiful messages for today. Wow. Orange Gold Dragon from Arcturus. This beautiful card says, opens knowledge for the new age. Carry the energy of the future, be a guiding light. Well, that certainly resonates with everything that has to do with Aquarians, because if we are anything, thank you, my urban landscape, we are carriers of a new energy for the golden age, which in our lifetime is about the age of Aquarius. And carrying the energy of the future really means being a seer and a visionary. And as we know, visionaries and seers, they are not always recognized by society. There is what's called the Cassandra complex, which is the person who sees the most, and usually it's a female energy or a feminine energy, is the one who is disbelieved. And either way, what I'm sensing is this knowledge that's coming into you now, it's not casting you out of anywhere. In fact, it's bringing you deeper into your sense of inner awareness and awakening. And it's something that you've been working on, your third eye's been channeling. This is not something that's news to you, it's something that's affirming you. And these cards are here to affirm the journey, because there might be wind resistance that comes when we climb to such heights in the cosmos. It's natural. There are going to be asteroids that come, and different stars that try to come into alignment, and some that even come into a brilliance with you in order to allow you to know that your truth is what's shining in your third eye and within you. And the heights to which you are climbing are not just random heights. They are very specific at this time in your life. And there might have been time where it felt random and it felt like, is this really what I'm meant to do? Am I really just more meant to be like everybody else? And the truth is no. And you're really seeing that now, because these heights, you've carved this path over and over and over and over again. And not just in this lifetime, but just as a tree has those beautiful ringlets. These are the rings and spirals of your evolutionary journey. And it has taken you lifetimes to be able to honor yourself on this peak, holding the guiding light so the stars can align with all that is in our humanity. Whether the others want to join you or not is almost irrelevant to thee, because everything that's shining within you is so true to what you know, and it's a sacral chakra region, and it's also very grounding. So everything that is very, what comes to me is Venusian, and Venusians are incredibly sensual beings. They work with sensory perceptions. They're often clairsentient, which means they can sense what is coming before it arrives in the physical form. And that may be one of your gifts, is that you have this clairsentience about what's coming. And there are times when the others are asleep. It might be early in the morning. You might be waking up at like 4 a.m. and thinking there's something wrong with you. Absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are tuning in, and it's almost like a call to an alignment. And all you need to do is meditate on the energy that's with you. So instead of trying to push yourself back to sleep or worrying or being like, why am I doing this? None of that. Give yourself that time and space as a sacred awakening. And if you do fall back asleep and have to wake up for your daily routine, you will feel regenerated and rejuvenated. It will not cut down on your sleep. In fact, it will enhance your rest, because there is such an intentionality to your sense of knowledge that you're awakening to, and you're carrying the energy of the future as a guiding light. So this meditative state that comes to you, whatever time of day it does, for some reason I'm hearing 4 a.m., maybe it's 4 p.m. But whenever it arrives for you, and I see the number 4, which is always aligning with your angels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, there might be Sariel, Raguel, and then your 2 other private personal angels, which you can always ask their names. And those 4 on your 4 corners, straddling you times 8, are all there as a protective shield, so that, oh my gosh, yes, and the 4, so that you can continue to expand out into all the dimensions and depths that you carry. Oh my gosh, and we just had this. Okay, so this dragon, oh my gosh, you were seeing and sensing yourself in the skies as you are elevating. And it's like you knew that this was going to happen. You predicted it. And it's almost like there's a part of you that says, oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew that what was coming for me was going to be tough, but I was going to rise through it. And if people were like, why did you do that? It cost you so much. It was so painful. No, you knew that you were going to go into higher facets of your heart. And as one who is a seer and who has clairsentience, you are allowing yourself to use that to your own advantage. And that, my friend, is not cheating in life, because unlike the TV series Bewitched, where she was forbidden from using her magic because somehow it was quote unquote cheating, this is not cheating for you to employ your magic, because your magic is all about goodness and light and love and wholesomeness. And sometimes we do have to trudge into the darkness because we are connecting our hearts to a higher loving dimension that's here to align us with what we are destined to be. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I never really do upside down cards. I don't know why these are upside down. I don't know if the other one is too, but fascinating. So the way that I read this card is, and I think these are very interconnected. This is about a heartbreak that happened. And a lot of people say this is about a third party situation. I don't read this card that way. I read this as you have allowed, and usually the universe comes in 3s, in 1s and 3s. So in this trine, this trilogy, this Mother, Father, Holy Spirit energy, it has pierced pieces of your heart that are now a part of this brand new start that's coming through for you. And where you were pierced is where there is more light and more joviality and more openness and more vulnerability. And yes, let the tears fall because it needed to. And it's not piercing your heart and breaking it apart. In fact, it's allowing air and space to come through where it just wasn't available to you. And this vision and dream that you had about yourself ascending is happening because of these heartbreaks that you've been facing. It could also be rejection. It could be things that you thought were going to work out to your advantage and they just didn't. But it's all in the past now. And I think that's why it's upside down, is because it's saying this is what you are leaving behind. And it's almost like a trine of a base that you can now stand upon or lean upon, knowing I've gone through the routes of these swords and I've been reborn the other side stronger than ever, with myself intact, and my power is within me and outside of me now, because I know what is for me and I know what's not for me. Yes. And of course, this one's right side up. It's 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is like, and the options are coming. After you've lost everything and you're like, you know what? I may have lost. I may not have been seen as the seer. I may have lost at this whole game of like getting the right person and gaming all the things so that everything works out. I might have quote unquote lost or quote unquote failed at that. But that is not a failure. It is a growing opportunity, and you have taken it as that. Because instead of letting it break you down, and you might have breakdowns. So it's not saying the tears aren't there and the grief isn't there. No, this is not a delightful romp of an experience. However, because you've gone into it wholeheartedly with your entire heart intact, and I love that this just hit our beautiful labradorite here, you have allowed yourself to now have a whole new flurry of options coming for you. And it's options on every level. 7 is the 7 gates of heaven, which are also the chakras being in harmony, meaning beauty, your well-being, your kundalini and energy, your home life and what I call your inner temple, your finances, the laurels and triumphs, and your spirit guides, all aligning inside within you. And I feel like these two cards are so connected because this is you. Maybe in the past you thought it was a pipe dream. Now you're seeing, oh my God, this is actually real, and I'm calling it forth to myself. And because of this heartbreak experience that you so beautifully went through and opened your heart vulnerably to, you are now able to take back what was once called fantasies for you, and you're realizing, oh my gosh, there were actually truths in there for me. And that's why I went on this journey, and that's why I had to have the heartbreak, because in order to lose the 3, I gained 7, and these 7 gates are so abundant. It's not just like, oh, here's like a little bit of, no, it's treasures. It is a castle. It is a laurel of triumph. It is a super amazing, pardon my French, badass, what to me looks like a dragon coming out. And of course, and this is the Rider-Waite, so usually they don't have dragons. And we have the snake, which is the Lunar New Year we're in now. So this is last year's Lunar New Year, the dragon. And this is this year's Lunar New Year, the serpent. And we have your energy frequency coming into a new harmony and balance, which to me is all about sacred and sacral healing, so that your inner womb, your aura, your auric sphere is being cleared and cleansed, and your nervous system is going through an entire new rehabilitation, regeneration as a result of this vision that you have followed and honored and gone through this wormhole of what I call la agonia, which is when it's like so painful that you can't maybe even breathe. It feels like the world is ending, and you just gave yourself to it when it happened. Didn't go looking for it, and I would never ever tell anyone to go digging for these kinds of experiences. But when they hit, when the crisis hits, as the Chinese say, crisis is the word for opportunity, and you took it as such. And the opportunity has paid you dividends, doubled and more. And these 7 gateways, they're just a beginning, because you're settling the old score where you were told you're not allowed to come in, your visions are untrue, you don't know what you're doing, why did you go up on that mountain, why are you seeking what you're seeking, nobody's ever going to align with it, you're out of your mind for thinking this way, and you were never harming anybody. The intentions that you set, this isn't all just, oh, for me and mine, but listen, get it all for you anyway. But this was because you have bigger plans, and the bigger dream is what's coming through. And that's what you're starting to align your eyes to, because this was the almost like the fantasy doorway that you had to go through and understand that it was a house of cards for you, almost like a tower moment. But it's one that was really heart-centered and has set your heart free, so that now you can really align with your inner truth and be removed from what did not resonate with thee, and be aligned with what is your inner, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual, your etheric harmony. And you are bringing that into a very grounded plane in your earthly form. Wow, it is such an honor to read these cards for you. Bless your beautiful heart and journey.